morning. I'm Peter, also known as Interpreter. Thank you, Titan, for figuring out how to pronounce that. I was explaining to someone earlier, I think Frank, that I had just written it out because it was a concatenation of Peter, or PTR, my handle, and Inter, which seemed appropriate for transmitting data from one place to another in terms of transcoding. So right now, I'm just going to give you a little overview and history of the AI SPE, and for those who maybe weren't around a year ago, or a year and a half ago, when Livepeer started to try to incorporate AI into the stack. And in January of 2024, Yondon, the illustrious author also of Scope, released the AI Runner, which kind of grew a little bit outside of, I think, where it was intended to, but by Q3, we had over a dozen different pipelines all sitting inside of AI Runner. And, well, then we decided to work with Inc. on Daydream in about November, so it was about almost exactly a year ago. And by January, we had our first stable diffusion model running in Comfy UI, or Comfy Stream. So moving past that, now I'm wondering, how do we solve this problem? How do we build an app on Livepeer? Because Inc's been doing an amazing job, but they're only one facet of the community. They're completely independent of the protocol, really. They're their own entity, just like any other enterprise that might come and bring their product onto Livepeer. So in order to enable more than just Inc, we're going to move past AI Runner. So to answer that question, why did we start from scratch again as the AI SPE instead of just using AI Runner? Well, from what I learned over the past year working with the AI SPE, it was just prohibitively difficult to add a new pipeline given that it was all in one monolithic application. And not only that, but there are multiple entities, Inc being one of them, all editing this same monolith. And so we have pull requests that are competing and kind of, I don't like the term gatekeeping, but it kind of felt like that at a time. People are waiting on multiple different teams to approve pull requests just to get a new addition to a pipeline in. Also, of course, we have siloed knowledge and different pieces of the application that you might have to try to comprehend just to shoehorn your pipeline in. So this was just a random image to remind me of what it was that I was about to say, where my origin story in machine learning had to do with, well, chess. And some number of years ago, I worked with a professor to build a deep learning chess application. And one of my biggest takeaways from that was that I didn't have to write everything about the chess application. I was able to contact an author of a Linux chess program and say, hey, can I use your code and just tear out everything except what I want to reuse? So fantastically, it came with the ability to play on the internet in the Internet Chess Club. It also came with the ability to read portable game notation files, which was crucial to training this machine learning application, because now we had every single Grandmaster game at our fingertips to provide training data. So that, I think, ties back to what I'm trying to convey here, is that to enable builders to bring their products and enterprises to bring their services onto Livepeer, we need to produce reusable code and to share that code. Thankfully, all of what we're doing is open source in the AISP. And I think that the most important part about that is that we're able to quickly iterate and produce example applications and trial kind of experimentations, which is pretty much what we've been doing for the last couple months, is experimenting very rapidly. And thank you, Jason. I'm looking at you, who's been writing some amazing demo apps based on our BYOC solution, which really is typically in the industry, you'll get a Docker container or a Docker file which represents that container, and you kind of have to add your code to that and build on that. And this is somewhere we may be going in the future, I think, in order to provide security and consistency. But right now, okay, if you guys don't know what a Docker container is, provided this for you. Yes, it's just a containerized or an encapsulated way to ship your product with a consistent set of dependencies. But what we've done so far is PyTrickle, which my coworker John has spent tireless hours implementing a Python package version of Josh from Inc., his HTTP trickle package, which allows pretty much any application you have, whether you could run a binary, but ideally in a Docker container, to connect to the Livepeer stack. So Brad, also over here, thank you, has been working tirelessly to plumb pretty much any PyTrickle application through the Livepeer orchestrator and gateway stack without having an opinionated set of parameters. While Daydream is amazingly capable, but if you look at like the number of parameters that you can potentially tweak, it's massive. And that unfortunately has been, for the most part, defined through Go Livepeer. And when I was building applications or the batch pipelines with the AISP, it was prohibitively tricky to keep updating these bindings through Go Livepeer. And so to produce this BYOC and have that generic enough to be able to handle any number of applications that you could just connect through PyTrickle. Brad has also worked tirelessly to enable that kind of flexibility. And there's just a little oversight of PyTrickle, which instead of the runner here, we have any other container that you would bring. And I guess just another little demonstration here is the AI runner was monolithic. It was huge. We had almost a dozen different pipelines, including ComfyStream, including the native Daydream pipeline now, and all of the batch pipelines. Whereas now, any application can be introduced through a Docker container that simply imports PyTrickle. And that was kind of just my quick overview of what the AISP has been working on. I know I absolutely went super fast through that, but happy to answer any questions. Thank you. Yes, Mike.
Yeah, man, I got something for you.
I'm sure you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We've been using it, learning how that infrastructure works, and that's great. One of the things, though, is from an orchestrator's perspective, being an orchestrator, is there a Livepeer hub, a BYOC hub, a marketplace in which I can go start deploying these things and checking them out?
I love the idea where you're bringing that, and I think it's something you touched on earlier about gateways and the marketplace, and the idea of being able to have gateway operators display or publicize what they're offering through their gateway and the pricing, et cetera, and have competition there of, whether an orchestrator, what models do you want to run, what pipelines, or what BYOC containers do you want to run? And I think that really we're looking to the foundation for guidance in that direction. Right now, I think the AISP has been purely focused on the technical fundamentals of getting these things working. And like Ryan actually quoted me earlier too, it's part of kind of a paradigm or process that I like to lean on is make it work and then make it right. So the first part, it may not actually work correctly, but it runs. You make it right, and then you make it fast or optimize. And in this case, I think that would be delivering to the community the ability to choose and select and price these types of different pipelines.
Yeah, but I think it also is like a Venn diagram between the gateway operators
Yes.
and the orchestrators.
Absolutely.
I think both have their own needs that are going to
Right.
be to need to address the marketplace concept. But I think collaboratively, orchestrators and gateways need to be able to say, we have these capabilities, you can serve those capabilities. So I think that's where the two come together. Just curious to see, again, where the BYOC stuff fits in there, but it sounds like you're already thinking where I'm thinking.
Well, I think you're taking it a little bit further, and I'm going to back up just for a second, and just to digress, remind the room of the motivation here, which is to enable builders to bring their products onto the Livepeer network as fast as possible, even prototyping. And that was what I found prohibitively difficult. And this is the AISP solution.
Ah, that's great. Thank you. Oh, one more. Sorry, got cohort. You got another one?
Of course.
Well, this one's a little more technical. So PyTrickle, so Trickles really originates and predominantly uses a gossip protocol. So how do you see this scaling up in terms of utilizing that protocol for inter-container communication from BYOC, the orchestrator, to gateway, given that its focus is more on a gossip protocol versus handling media, multimedia, other data?
I wish John was here to help you out on that. But
Okay.
to try to speak a little bit to that, the implementation of PyTrickle handles an arbitrary number of data channels, whether they be video, audio, or straight up JSON text data. So that was probably one of the bigger motivations behind building PyTrickle, was to allow these kind of multimodal pipelines where, say, you could have data and video coming in and maybe just audio out, whatever reason that application would be, or video and audio in and just data out.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw some of the work you guys have done around wrapping it in the Python APIs to help you interact with the data stream and the multimedia coming out. So it'd be great if you guys keep pushing that and get some more docs around it, because it's pretty clear the API that it provides, but I don't know how many people are aware of that being in existence versus just a diagram that's talking about this protocol and they're not quite sure how to interact with it as a builder. So just the feedback. Appreciate the work.
Thanks to the
though. Very
foundation
good.
for bringing on help to assist us in getting this documentation out.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
fast
we
as
can
possible.
certainly contribute. Just trying to get our hands wet with it and working with it recently with the OIC. So just some of the early feedback I've gotten from working with it recently. So
Cool.
appreciate
Thank
the
you.
work. It's very good. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
Last questions?
One more question.
What examples do you already have available? As Brett showed me some. So what examples do you have available for the community to try on?
Let's see, I
or to
think
see?
one of my favorites is, Project Transcript, which primarily just transcribes, and we're hoping to ship that to Eli and Streamplace over here very soon. But another example, we've incorporated Gemma, is that how you pronounce it? Gemma, to provide also not only translation, but interpretation of that audio, or rather the transcribed audio. So you could imagine, instead of listening to or reading the exact transcript of a video, you could get a summarization of what people were talking about in the video. So we have a couple of those types of examples. Again, I think they're both under Jason. Are they under your GitHub, I think? I think we may be moving those over to a Livepeer repo soon, but.
It's handling also like video understanding, so you can ask about the video, and you can have translation and transcription, or you can have, it's a LLM with a video understanding, so you can ask it to interpret the data in a different way, however you want. So it is very interesting.
Thanks, Jason.
Last question from the pain in the butt.
Oh,
What's next for the AISP? I mean, I think there has been a lot of communication, a lot of interaction in water coolers and whatnot, and I'm just curious to see where you're here today, right? Where do you go tomorrow? What's the future looking like? What's the big fish you guys are angling for?
you're gonna have to wait for the proposal for phase 5. It's
Come on,
coming
get
on
some
the,
alpha, a
coming,
little
coming
bit.
on the forum.
Just a little sneak peek.
I think I tried to hint at it there, if you could find it.
Oh, okay. I'll go back and look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.